All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5:30. I'm going to call this meeting to order. At this time, if everybody would stand. Bart, would you mind doing a moment of our invocation, please?
Dear Lord, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to meet here. Thank you for allowing us to live in this community, to have these leaders that we have. I ask you to bless everyone in this room and those who wanted to attend who could not attend. I ask you to bless all our military personnel throughout the world, and I especially ask you to look after all our law enforcement officers in this country. They seem to be under attack for no good reason whatsoever, Lord, and we ask you to give them the guidance and put your hand upon them and watch over them daily. We ask all this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. And while we're standing, please, Chris, would you please do the pledge of allegiance for me?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May be seated. Thank you. All right, we're down to item number 3. We have any amendments to the agenda, Ms. Deborah?
No.
All right. That brings us to item 4, approval of the agenda. Y'all have the agenda in front of you. I need a move and second to approve the agenda for tonight.
So moved.
Second.
Have a move and second. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. The agenda has been approved. Excuse me, that brings us down to item number 5, employee recognition. I think we have some tonight. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Becky Denny.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. My favorite part of the evening. We have some wonderful employees, so we're going to give out some recognition tonight. Okay, first we have Shane Paget from the Sheriff's Office that's been with us 20 years.
He's going to come pulling in, and you'll hear a siren
Yeah,
in a minute.
we hear a siren
Just now,
Okay,
so
thank you. And Dana Waller.
he's working in the jail tonight.
Okay. How about Marcel Young?
There she is.
Yeah. Come on up. Congratulations. Thank you. We're proud of you. There you go. And if you'll come on down, we'll take a picture.
Well, let's,
or do we want to wait?
Here he comes.
There he is. Got an award for you. So, yes. Thank you. This is 20 years. Big deal.
20-year pen. Marcia, what's your pen?
10.
Pen?
Yeah.
20 years.
Thank you. So,
Thank you very much.
We'll take some pictures. I'll take one of them.
Sweat really long before.
You're gonna work here, Marcia.
And you can tell Shane's old enough that he's been here twice as long as Marcy
I'm
too.
gonna take up for anything anybody says about Shane, I'm gonna take up for Shane. And I'll take up for Marcy too.
Then again, Commissioner broke his car, he didn't know it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now that's going to bring us down to item number 6 on the financial report. As soon as Faye gets everything operational, we're going to let her go ahead, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Faye Hardy. Hey Shane, can you do me a favor, flip those switches in the opposite direction, that one down, the other one up. Thank you.
We have a half screen today. Can y'all see that?
No.
Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Sorry, a little better. Okay. This is the financial report for the period ending July 31, and that's 7 months of our fiscal year.
So the expenditure budgets should be 58.3% or less. The total general fund revenue collections for the period through July 31st is $541,544, and that is 31.65% of the revenue. The expenditures under the general government function, the total expended is $1,842,789. That's 58.41%. Under the judicial, the expenditures total $1,808,170, and that's 53.3%. Under for public safety, the expenditures are $6,739,990, and that's 55.46%. Okay, sorry about that. Now we go to the public works function, and those expenditures are $1,367,296, and that's 48.88%. For health, the health department, the senior center, and the MATS program, the expenditures are $370,943, and that's 46.94%. For culture and recreation, the expenditures are $505,309, and that's 54.39%. For housing and development, the total expenditures are $327,043, and that's 53.86%. So overall, the general fund expenditures have been $12,961,539, and that's 54.4%. It's 3.9% under the allowable budget at this time of year. And for our enterprise funds, the water department expenditures are $1,046,682, and that's 50.64%. The airport expenditures are $150,716, and that's 40.14% of their budget, their total budget. The line item budget reports were sent to all the elected officials and department heads on August 11th. We are in the requested budgets, and they are due tomorrow. I've gotten some back already, so we're working on the 2017 budget. And that's it. Is there any questions on that?
I was just a little curious about this under general government, being a little bit over right here, under commission and general.
Right.
Is there anything
The if you'll turn to your tab 4, it shows the departments that are under the general government, and the general administration budget, which is has some of the items like the fees that are normally paid early in the year, that kind of thing. That budget is at 59%, so that's a little skewed. The legal part of the budget is at 104% already. So that's what makes that. All the other budgets, the commission chairman, the board clerk, finance, human resources, and the general admin fees are all under budget.
Am I right that legal is different? So a couple of suits where we're having to pay legal?
Yes, it's for the general government, it's for the tax assessors also. It's all the legal fees that we pay for all departments.
Okay, thank you.
And then the, under general government buildings, it's at 78% right now. But a lot of that is the renovation of the building next door that we're going to be renting to the DFACs. And also some of the 911 building.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you, Ms. Harvey. All right, that brings us up to item number 7 on the consent agenda. We signed a safe digging day proclamation, and as business is finally starting to pick up in the state of Georgia, we have done this proclamation. Proclamation recognizing August the 11th, 2016 as Safe Digging Day in Pickens County, whereas 1,000 times a year the underground infrastructure in Georgia is damaged by those who do not have underground lines located prior to digging, resulting in service interruption, environmental change, and threat to public safety. And whereas in 2005, the Federal Communications Commission designated 811 to provide contractors and homeowners a simple number to contact utility operators to request the location of underground lines at the intended dig site. And whereas Pickens County is dedicated to the prevention of damage to underground utilities in Georgia, promotes the national 811 notification system in an effort to reduce damage to underground utilities in Georgia, and whereas damage prevention is a shared responsibility, by using safe digging practices, the contractors and homeowners of Pickens County can save time, money, and help keep our infrastructure safe and connected. And whereas Pickens County Board of Commissioners recognizes and observes August the 11th, 2016 as National Safe Digging Day. Now therefore, I, Robert P. Jones, Chairman, on behalf of Pickens County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim August the 11th, 2016 as National Safe Digging Day in Pickens County, Georgia. I encourage contractors and homeowners throughout Pickens County to always call 811 before digging. Safe digging is no accident. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of Pickens County, Georgia to be affixed this 9th day of August in the year 2016. So that has been done. All right, that brings us down to old business, item number 8. Ms. Deborah, do we have any old business?
None.
No old business, all right. Now that brings us down into new business, item number 9. We have done we haven't done, but I'm going to read and I'd like to sign this evening a Law Enforcement Appreciation Day proclamation. Proclamation Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Whereas Pickens County is privileged to have many fine men and women in our law enforcement dedicated to protecting our county. Without a doubt, the people of Pickens County are grateful to our law enforcement for their constant protection and service, and whereas Pickens County law enforcement gives to great lengths to ensure that we feel protected in our homes, workplaces, and schools, and whereas it is fitting and right to recognize the many sacrifices they have made on behalf, and to remember with the gratitude these men and women standing shoulder to shoulder in defense of peace, order, and justice. And whereas all citizens of Pickens County, Georgia, and United States citizens should remember our law enforcement for their bravery and heroism, and should pay tribute to their faithful service. And whereas it is important to observe a day in honor and recognition of Pickens County law enforcement as a way of thanking them for their service, reminding ourselves of their constant protection, and as a way to pass on to the next generation the importance of the role that law enforcement plays in a civil society. And now therefore, the Pickens County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaim August the 27th, 2016 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day in Pickens County. We further call upon all citizens of Pickens County to take time throughout the entire month of August to show their support of law enforcement officers. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the county to be affixed this the 18th day of August 2016. I'd like to make a move that we accept this proclamation as for the Commissioners of Pickens County as Law Enforcement Day. Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor, let know by saying aye. Aye. None opposed, thank you. All right. Ms. Deborah. All right. That brings us down to item 10 under action items. Subsection A, approved of minutes. Item number 1, regular board meeting on July 21st of 2016. You had the minutes to that. I need to move a second to approve those if you have read, and sure they don't have any corrections to those.
Second.
Moving to second, any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. And then on item number 2 of that subsection, we have work session on August the 4th, 2016. I need you all have those minutes there in front of you. I need to move in a second to approve those minutes also.
Second.
I've moved in a second. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. That brings us down to item B on the rezone request. We have a zone request number 1, a rezone for RZ-06-16-1205, Jerry and Mary Jane Elrod at 325 Jerusalem Church Road, Jasper. They'd like to go from highway business to rural residential on parcel number 032-054-001 is 8 acres. And Pickens County Planning and Development Office received a complete application on June 23rd, 2016 from Jerry and Mary Jane Elrod requesting a change in the land use classification from highway business to rural residential on 8 acres located at 325 Newland Church Road, Jasper, Georgia. Intended purpose of this rezone request, if approved, is to allow for the sale of the house and property and to enable the buyer to qualify for a residential loan. A public hearing was held on the 8th of August 2016 regarding this application in the Pickens County Commissioners meeting room before the Pickens County Planning Commission. After reviewing the application and receiving the staff report to be approved and listening to the testimony of applicant with no public comment, the Pickens County Planning Commission voted 7 yes and 0 no to unanimously approve the rezone request on the 8-acre parcel contained on tax map parcel 032-054-001. The Pickens County Planning Commission now forwards this request to the Board of Commissioners for review and decision. I need a move and a second to approve or disapprove this rezone request.
Move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. Ms. Deborah. All right, that brings us down to item number 2. We have another rezone request. Rezone, I'll just read this, not read the subtext there, everybody can read that one. Pickens County Planning and Development Office received a completed application on June 28th of 2016 from Lamar, Cantrell for Charles Thomas Cagle requesting a change in the land use classification of agriculture to small agriculture on 5.03 acres located at 3863 Waleska Highway 108, Jasper, Georgia. The intended purpose of this rezone request, if approved, is to divide a 15.03 acre tract into 2 parcels. 5.03 acre tract containing Mr. Cagle's residence and 10 acre tract to allow the sale of the 10 acre tract. A public hearing was held on the 8th of August 2016 regarding this application in the Pickens County Commissioners meeting room before the Pickens County Planning Commission. After reviewing the application and receiving the staff report to be approved and listening to the testimony from the applicant with no public comments, the Pickens County Planning Commission voted 7 yes and 0 no to unanimously approve the rezone request on the 5.03 acre parcel contained on tax map parcel number 064-097. The Pickens County Planning Commission now forwards this request to the Board of Commissioners for review and decision. I need a move and a second to approve this rezone request on this particular parcel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. All right. That brings us down to item C, Whispering Creek Water Agreement.
That's it.
Pardon?
That's it.
That's it right here. So what they're asking is go ahead and run before the board here for an approval, go ahead and accept this water system. To give you some update on that, this is Whispering Creek subdivision that used to be called Blackwell, was Blackwell Creek. Anyway, it was a subdivision that went in foreclosure. A few years ago, there's been a couple of developers that have purchased that property and trying to get it back up and going. They have changed the name to Whispering Creek subdivision. The subdivision had already been approved for EPD, through EPD with the water system that's already there. They're wanting the county commissioners now to approve it to where we can tie it onto our water system now that the subdivision is back up and selling parcels or lots off. And they have met all the criteria of the engineering company of Pickens County that we can do so up to 1,560 feet of elevation. So they're asking for y'all to give me the approval to sign this application to go ahead and accept this water system in Pickens County.
So moved.
Second.
Have a move and a second for me to go ahead and sign this for approval of the water system in Pickens County. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. The subdivision, to give you all a heads up, subdivision does go above 1560, but they can't sell any lots above 1560 because there's got to be some more upgrading done for a pumping station and a water tank. That will be the responsibility of the developer as he goes forward up that mountain.
Yeah, I was reading.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. We also have item number D, alcohol special events text amendment. And I do not have that one. Wait, I do, I'm sorry. Resolution adopting amending chapter 6 of the Code of Ordinances of Pickens County, Georgia. Be it ordained by the Commissioners of Pickens County as follows. That the Code of Ordinances of Pickens County, Georgia hereby amended by adding the modifications for the following section of chapter 6, section 6-70 in general. Modifications are shown in Exhibit A of this resolution, And I'll go ahead and read it. It's on the next page. Section 6-70, special permits. The licensing board may authorize issuance of a special events license that permits the sale of alcoholic beverages on a temporary basis for the purpose of special events only. The current Pickens County alcohol license holders may obtain no more than 12 special events licenses per calendar year. Non-licensed holders may obtain no more than 3 special events licenses per calendar year. The licensing board's authorization may include special terms and conditions and other such exceptions from the requirements of this chapter as the licensing board may deem appropriate in the circumstances provided. However, that no special events license shall be issued for a period of more than 2 days. These fees for special licenses shall be as approved by the licensing board and shall not be subject to waiver. In addition to such other conditions as may be imposed for issuing of a special license, caterers issued special license shall comply with the provisions of OCGA 3-11-2 and all other applicable provisions of state law. Especially, special event license shall not be issued for any event occurring on a Sunday. This was done by the Beer and Wine Board. Yes, and they're making a recommendation for us to go ahead and abide by their recommendations on this one. Y'all have any comments on that? We take it to a vote. All right. I need a move and a second to approve or disapprove the amendment, adopting this amendment to this particular item.
Make a move to approve.
Second.
Have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. All right. That brings us down to item E, smoking ban at Roper Park. We discussed that in the last, in our last business meeting again. Brian, you got any other comments on that one?
Talked to the board members last night. Basically, they just wanted to reiterate that their recommendation to the board was to do a full ban on all smoking at Roper Park, but be willing to entertain any other ideas in regards to it. But that was their recommendation to the Board of Commissioners, was for a full ban. So
Is that your recommendation also personally?
it is. I think it would probably be. I think it's the right step because with recreation, we're trying to promote a healthy lifestyle. If we allow smoking, school system doesn't allow smoking on their campus. If we allow it, even in certain areas, we're still promoting the idea that smoking is okay. But by having a full ban, we're pretty much taking it off the table and we'll make it about the kids' health.
When you're talking the full ban, you know, the discussion come up with having certain areas for smoking, is that still gonna be allowable in the parking areas? How well are you gonna enforce?
That's that is the caveat. We're not going to actively search people out for cigarette smoke. Now, it just gives us teeth. That way, if we're at the ballpark and we see someone walking around the field smoking, then staff will go and tell them that there's a ban at Roper Park, there's no smoking allowed, and then send them on their way for the most part. But we're not going to be actively taking our golf cart around the parking lot searching for smokers. We don't have enough staff in order to do that. So.
What's your,
I'll make a motion, we go for the full ban.
Second.
that will move in a second to go for the full ban. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
Full ban stands.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Pickens County Water and Sewer Board per diem. We have a Pickens County Water and Sewer Board. The item had come up and it's been in discussion. A lot of the boards in Pickens County and a lot of the individuals that serve on these boards serve it at the will of the commissioners and other areas. But normally, majority of them, if not all of them, are paid $50 a meeting because they get no other check. The water board, for some reason, under the last, since we know it was set up for $30, and what we'd like to do is correct that $30 to a $50 per day and make it equal across the board. And I think Mr. Deborah has checked to the fact that, do we have any other boards that have got some issues that we need to correct while we're here?
No, everybody is $50 except for water and sewer board.
I make a motion, we increase them to $50.
All right.
Second.
I've moved second to increase the Pickens County Water and Sewer Board to $50. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. All right, that brings us into item number 11, guest comments. Does anybody have a comment they'd like to make?
Question.
All right,
Just a quick one.
you want to ask a question?
Where is the Whispering Creek subdivision located?
It's a subdivision that has started between the north gate and the south gate of Big Canoe on Steve Tate Road, if I remember. It was originally called Blackwell Creek, wasn't it, when it was originally started, or?
Blackwell Creek is another section. It was
Maybe that's another
called, pardon?
Yeah.
What was the original thing? It's a section about 240 acres there between
Yeah.
the two gates.
It's the one that's,
Pardon?
Trinity Church.
yeah, right there at Trinity Church,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Right, it's got that big, is that the one that's got the big wall in the
Yes.
front that's,
That's it.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, it went into foreclosure there a few years ago when the economy went south.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's my only question.
Thank you very
You got
much.
me for it to go.
Any further comments? Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to have to go into executive session. I should have given you that earlier. All right. To consult and meet with legal counsel pertaining to pending or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions brought or to be brought by or against the county or an officer or an employee, or in which the officer or employee may be directly involved, which is pertaining to OCGA-50-14-2, parentheses 1. I need a move in a second that we go in executive session.
Second.
I move in second. Any further discussion? None being all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are now officially going into executive session. If y'all are willing to sit till we get back, or I hope y'all have a great evening.